Hey everyone, I'm Bree Bourne. I'm from WRSU, Rutgers Radio, and I'm here with two members of the Rex. So would you guys like to introduce yourselves and say what you do in the band?
I'm Weston. I play guitar and some piano.
I'm Nick, and I sing for the band.
Awesome. So how has the Lost in Translation tour been so far? Would you like to share a little bit about the experience? Like now that your new EP is out, do you notice a lot of a lot of new fans coming to shows, a lot more people singing the lyrics to your songs?
Yeah, there've been a lot of people like singing along, like a lot of the the new songs on this tour, which is really cool because before that they existed only on YouTube. So there was like a group of like harder core fans that knew a lot of the words for our last headline tour. But this has definitely been a big change. We're also on a bus this tour, which is really cool. We're sharing it with Dreamers. And those guys are awesome. Everyone on the tour has been like so cool in New Politics and Dreamers, and we're happy to be here. It's been fun.
We're wearing the same jeans.
We are wearing the same jeans.
Are they the exact same?
Those are actually mine, and these are his, I think, right? I think we
guys
traded
all
jeans
share a
somehow.
wardrobe?
We don't. We should. We don't, though.
We should switch off
What are we
sometimes.
doing? Look at this. Our knees are just...
Just out. I know. Sometimes I look at them, I'm like, why do we do this? Like,
Maybe draw faces like on them like,
Yeah.
before.
I guess so.
My friend tattooed a smiley face on his knee for that reason.
might as well try. I remember waking up one day and walking in, like out in the front of the bus, and Schmidt just had like smiley faces drawn all over him. He
All
like
over his face.
some genitalia drawn on his face.
got-
I think I drew that.
He got drunk during the merch line one night and just let people like draw all over.
And there were like smiley faces on his knees and stuff. Yeah. Anyway.
Gosh. So you guys get into some crazy stuff, maybe. What's like been one of the craziest moments on tour so far, if anything stands out to you?
My favorite moment was Mexico. We had an off day in El Paso, Mexico, and
No, El Paso, Texas.
El Paso, Texas, and my bad. And we hopped over the border, not literally hopped, but we went to. Sorry, we went to Juarez, Mexico for like a few hours and went to this bar, apparently where margaritas were made, and yeah, it was a good time.
I didn't go. I did not go.
He did not go, but he was there in spirit. I drank a few margaritas for him.
The craziest things that happen on tour you can't really talk about for sure, because it's just you'd embarrass yourself either in the story or you'd criminalize yourself, or what is it? Incriminate. Sorry, you'd incriminate yourself. No, I don't know. I've been having a good time. I think I've been sleeping a lot, which means I've been staying up really late. Because with the bus, you can sleep in as late as you want, basically until like sound check. Because the bunk area, like where everyone sleeps, is there's no windows. It's so enclosed. It's so dark that you're kind of just in this black hole of sound to sleep. You know.
They could absorb sound too.
Oh, absolutely. Just hum. There's a hum of the air conditioner that just like blacks out all of their sound.
Just rocks you to sleep.
Do you guys just
It's a
like
beautiful
lay
thing.
down after shows and everyone just like knocks out?
I mean, no, because we stay up. Some people go to sleep. Some of us stay up in the front. Nick Wold brought the singer of Dreamers, brought his PlayStation 4, so we've been playing Star Wars every night. So we just like take shots of whiskey and just play Star Wars for like hours. And that's if the bus is moving. If the bus is still, we're usually out and about. And him and I seem to, if bus calls 6 a.m., we seem to separately show up at 5:58. And the same for every other hour of the night. We always show up like 2 minutes before bus call. So we've been certainly taking advantage of the full nights that we've had here.
Nice. So I guess to move into your music, so you guys just came out with your, I guess, sophomore EP, you could call it, Panic Vertigo. And by the way, I love it. It's great. Been listening. Been showing everyone at Rutgers. It's great. So I was wondering what writing that was like, since before that you guys only had one EP out. So you might have been writing those songs for a very long time, or you might have had them for a longer amount of time. So what was it like, I guess, having maybe a shorter period of time to write the second EP, if you did? And do you prefer that, or did you like having like a longer amount of time to write music?
We basically had the first EP happened so quick. It was just like the songs were written before the band was formed. So as soon as we formed, within that first week, we just recorded the songs and put them out like a few months later. So with the second EP, it was like pretty much since the first EP came out, even before it, I was working on these current songs, and I'd probably written like, countless songs, like tens and tens and tens of songs, and then you're just kind of tasked with picking a song, the 5 songs for the EP. So we picked like a bunch of different versions of what we thought the EP would be, like as far as like what songs we'd actually pick, and then we decided on these 5, and they've gone through so many different changes, and the writing process is a continual thing, even up through the recording process, which we did ourselves again, and it was just those songs changed so much even during that process. So it was these actually there was a lot of time spent on these songs and changing them, and there's so many versions of the songs that are just wildly different than what you hear now. So that was an exciting and different process for us to like really change it up a lot. We're writing even more songs now, and we've got like 30 songs written and like demoed for the first album that we want to put out, and that process has been totally different too. I'm sure those songs will see many more changes, but yeah, I don't know. We had time for these ones.
I think.
But sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. So we'll see what we decide to do with the next songs, and if we like, chip away at those as much as we did these ones.
Yeah, I think we had like a lot of time at our disposal in the studio, that our really good friend Pat Berry of the Berry Brothers, shout out Pat, of the Berry Brothers, hooked us up with in near Nick's hometown of Wellsville, New York. So we had we were kind of just chilling at his grandma's house and driving to the studio. It was 40 minutes away every day, and we didn't have like a deadline, so we'd be there till like 6 a.m. and then we'd go back to his grandma's house, crash, wake up the next day, do the same thing. So it was like there was a lot of time. Yeah, we slept at the studio a lot too, for sure. But there was a lot of time to just rework things and listen a lot.
And make it up as you go, because we don't know what the hell we're doing. This whole band.
Just trying to figure it out.
This whole band has been nope, I'm done talking.
Like right now, I don't really know what we're doing right now.
Something moving on.
It's okay. I think you just gotta like go out there and perform. I think that's right now. That's probably all you need to do. All right, you'll try.
I just couldn't think of the word. I couldn't think of the word.
It's okay.
So I gave up on
What's that word you've been trying to think of for like?
This happens all the time. I'm obsessed with vocabulary, and if I can't think of it, I get really upset, and I can't. No, I don't
talk about it.
Yeah, I get really upset. I know, there's
like
one word.
A clean.
Oh yeah.
It's like a carbon copy.
It's like there's like a word. Oh my god.
Does this ever happen on stage? Do you like?
No, thankfully no. It's just in conversation, and I annoy people all the time with it, I'm sure. But there's one word.
It's been bugging him for like.
It's
3
like
weeks
I feel
now.
like the snapshot. Like snapshot is close to it. There's like a word for something that is like it's like a double of it. It's like a copy, but it's not like it's not carbon copy. It's not doppelganger. It's not like it's like snapshot, but it's like a not double take. Like what is it? It's a clear something. Like it's a. I feel like it's like a cut and paste. Something it's like it's like something so close to that, and it's like clear
I think it's
shot.
One of those things that we've said.
Clear shot. I feel like shot is in there. If you have any idea what I'm talking about, let us know.
Well, subscribe first and then comment.
Smash that like button. Sorry.
So, how would you say your sound has kind of evolved since your first EP or since your first, I guess, performances together?
Oh yeah. Only because Westen wasn't here for the first year of it.
I wasn't born.
He wasn't born yet.
I was born last February.
Last February.
When I joined the band.
Did they make you for the band?
Oh, yeah, we created him. He's a robot. We
I
just started that. That's a rumor.
That would actually be fun.
It's true.
I'm sure they could do that now. Like
Yeah,
just
probably.
Weston is a robot. He's a
Example.
guitar robot.
Just don't spill water on me.
Right. Please.
That's okay.
Yeah. The songs. I don't know. The sound evolves in a very natural sense. I think because we're so involved in not only the writing process but the recording process. So it's just kind of whatever we feel is what we're excited about, or we even know how to make. Because that's the thing too. Is like a lot of bands, which they should, I think, go to, you go to a producer, and the producer helps you turn the songs into, maybe better for radio, or they turn the songs into something really magical. They'll take your vision and apply their knowledge to it. But we like to do a lot of it on our own. So sometimes we're limited by what we physically know how to do, but also that allows us to do something that doesn't sound exactly like anything else that maybe you're hearing. It's not the same production techniques, or it's not the same recording technique. We're just kind of like kids in a studio messing around. So I think it evolves the more we're just in the studio. We learn how to do more stuff, and we learn about production more, and we study and research our craft. And so we're going to continue to evolve, and we've taken an insane step up for the new album that we're working on, but we don't get to talk about it yet. But
Still listen to Panic Vertigo.
yeah, keep listening to the Panic Vertigo.
Every interview, we're just really excited about the album. But we're excited about Panic Vertigo.
Yeah, listen to Panic Vertigo.
Vertigo.
Keep streaming it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as album.
Yeah.
This album does not exist.
Yeah. Dreamers. Listen to This Album Does Not Exist by Dreamers.
Yes.
And Ratitude.
Back to you.
And listen to Ratitude by the Beatles.
Ratitude by the Beatles? I don't think that's an album or a song.
It's a Weezer album.
We're listening to the Beatles the other day when we were in California.
I was just gonna cut you off.
Wait, you don't want...
And we're done.
Is this like
And
a secret? Okay.
No, he just likes to cut me off. But yeah, we're listening to the Beatles, and Schmidt and our other guitarists and I are just jamming out, and Nick's like, I don't know any of these songs. And I'm like, what do you mean?
There's a lot of old ass Beatles songs I just don't know.
Just I want to
Sorry, I
hold
don't.
your hand.
No, I know. Come on.
I don't know, dude.
I was conceived to that song.
And then he never listened to the Beatles after he found out.
That's
For your music. Since you guys were kind of from, I want to say all over the United States, or
Yeah, pretty much.
definitely.
did you feel that when you came together, you all had different styles of music? Whether it was East Coast, West Coast, or did you feel like you guys all kind of had the same upbringing of music, if that makes sense?
I mean, I think I don't think geographically where we're from really played much role, but we definitely all grew up on different music. Aaron and Nick listened a lot more pop punk when they were younger, and then Schmiz, our other guitarist, is really big classic rock head, and then Billy, our drummer, is he grew up on kind of
80s.
a lot of
metal shit.
and they listen to all
His
funky
favorite-
stuff,
His
and
favorite band was probably Journey.
probably
No,
He'd be mad if
more
we
like
said
Poison or Twisted
Poison.
Sister.
Yeah, you want it to be an '80s
who's
band
his
for a
actual
while.
favorite band? What are they called?
White Snake or something.
No, I can't think of it. But yeah.
Yeah, and then we all kind of just listen to a bunch of different stuff, but then we all listen to the same stuff too. We all are huge KG Elephant fans, Killers, Strokes, and yeah.
Yeah, it was basically we had this there's definitely this path that crosses with all of our music interests, but when the band first started, I was just listening to a lot of Jet and the Strokes and Vaccines and Weezer and Jesus and Mary Chain and Pixies and all these bands that just depended just on guitars and not really cool production to get their songs across, which just comes down to good songwriting. So I was really inspired to do a band like that, and so that's where the Rex was kind of formed 2.5 years ago, and then I found the guys, and then their styles and music interests have influenced the songwriting a lot too, and especially Schmiz's guitar playing. He's so talented with writing riffs, and he's just got such a genuine soul to his playing, and you can hear the roots in his fingertips, you really can. So when he's in the studio and we're writing riffs, it's just it's electric. You just let him go, and having that person to depend on for just writing riffs that you just go you freak out about. That's really fun, and that helps us all. And then Westen coming along and being able to add the element of keys while he also plays rhythm guitars, that's it's just been we're at a really good spot right now where everyone's in a good place with what they're playing live, and the sound of the band is just Schmiz and I just constantly evolving it. So yeah, I think our music tastes lend to that, but also we try not to listen to too much music when we're writing. We just like to get into our own bubble and try to make something that we think is weird and different and cool, and hopefully it's still catchy at the end of the day.
Yes, back to you with the morning news.
Well, you guys are going on another tour after this with the Maine. So were they like a band that you guys like listened to also?
Yeah, no, we all really like the Maine, and we've all listened to them for a bit. So
I used to cover the Maine at open mic night when I was like 15 and 16 years old. I used to cover like a bunch of songs off Can't Stop Won't Stop, and so I'm stoked. Yeah, and they've just seemed really nice. We did like we've talked to Pat, their drummer, a bit, and we did like a live stream with them recently. We've only heard like such great things about them, and their fan base too, and that whole culture that they've created. I think it's really special. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to be part of it, and I'm thankful that they're bringing us along.
Yeah, they seem very unique to me in the way that like how they interact with their fans, and they it seems like they just have this really, really special relationship with their fan base, and they're just incredibly loyal. I know they did a tour that was like free. I think the whole tour was like
really?
free tickets and stuff. Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But just stuff like that's really
Just make it
cool.
up.
Maybe I just made that up.
I went
They
to
did?
it.
Okay, cool. Thank you for
Sorry,
confirming.
I just wanted you to like struggle for a second.
No, you're good. It's good entertainment. But yeah, so we're excited to be a part of that. Back to you with the morning news. With the weather.
With the weather.
What's the weather today in Philly?
It's always
The
sunny.
nor'easter is gone.
Oh, did you really?
Do
Is
what?
that like a joke that people in Philly hate?
I'm not from Philly though.
Oh, right, you're from Jersey.
I've literally only been to Philly like a handful of times.
Fake Philly.
Off the top of my head. So you guys are now living in California as a band, I guess, when you're not touring, or kind of when you're all there. Where's like your go-to like hangout? Like, do you guys have like a favorite area I guess like in LA or where you're staying? You don't have to give away like
No,
that's not like meant to be like, oh, so everyone can find you like your favorite.
No, it's actually.
Do you have
It's a much boring answer than you'd expect. Our favorite place to hang out is our studio, 100,000%. We spend so much time working and writing. We don't really go out that much.
It's not like a studio. It's just wherever
What's
monitors are set up.
Wherever we can get us set up, yeah. So we don't. I mean, especially because we started the band when we weren't really 21, so we couldn't go out anyway. And we were living in Thousand Oaks, which is like 45 minutes away from LA. It's like north, so it's like that's such a hassle to go out, and you don't really have a ride back if you want to drink. So you'd have to get someone to. It's just a whole thing. So yeah, we wouldn't really go out much. I think that inspired the band to keep working hard.
Short answer: P&L Burger in Thousand Oaks,
Oh
California.
yeah, P&L Burger. You want to see us hanging out? We're getting burgers in between studio sessions. Not burgers, breakfast burritos. At P&L Burger. Yeah, we just work a lot. We do go.
We'll start to like.
We'll probably.
explore the area
Yeah.
As we meet more people in LA and stuff.
When we first started the band, it was like we treated it as a full-time job while everyone had full-time jobs too. So we just would work all day long on like booking shows, like coming, doing all the graphic design and doing our own marketing and doing our own press and reaching out and trying to get people to talk about our band or listen to our songs. And we just did. We worked really hard to get our foot in the door as soon as we started, and we did it tirelessly for months and months and months. So the band was started with that kind of work ethic, and then it's just kind of that's just kind of been the norm. It's been standard to work that hard, and whether it be the writing process or everything else that goes into it. So yeah, we're boring as shit.
But maybe you'll get that sponsor from the P&L Burger.
Yeah, that'd be
dope. That would be like the best thing to ever happen.
There you go. Maybe they'll hear this. I don't know.
I hope they're not closed. Like, I could see them closing. It's like a mom
Yeah,
and pop store.
definitely.
Like,
But they get a lot of love. Like every time we bring them up, people are like, "Yeah, P&L Burger."
yeah, they love it.
We shouted them out in the crowd one night, and there was more applause for P&L Burger than there was for us
Sure.
when we finished playing. So
That's how to get the crowd started.
yeah,
Just
So
say.
when we finished our set, I was like, "Thank you, we've been the Rex." Crickets, and I was like, "Peanut Burger." It's kind of like that episode of SpongeBob when Squidward keeps like going out and doing stuff, and then SpongeBob just puts his hand out and he like gets all this. Like,
oh, I love that moment, dude.
I know.
I'm just
It's
flashing back
such a
now.
good
I want to
episode.
watch that.
We should watch it.
It gives me goosebumps. That's why I play music, honestly.
For SpongeBob.
Maybe, I don't know.
No, I play music because of sweet, sweet, sweet victory.
That's what I mean. That part.
That part.
Patrick on his little glasses.
Absolutely.
Let's watch that after
You
this
guys
is
should
done.
do that.
Yeah.
Such a great episode.
And then last question. This is like kind of a silly question, but if you could switch bodies with anyone in the band, who would it be?
Switch bodies with anyone in the band?
This would work better if like the whole band was here.
Like Weston, he's tall. He's so tall.
I'm tall.
And he's fit. He actually. Oh.
Oh,
yeah. I was okay. So I said before the commercial break, that I would switch bodies with Weston, but I take that back because I forgot that he. If you watch him like throw a football, you'd understand.
It's bad, yeah.
It's bad.
All I can do is play hockey and guitar. That's about it.
Because Weston's like tall and he's in good shape and he actually cares enough to work out. So like, that's one reason. But then how you use your body.
Sport. I just can't do sports. I'm just like lanky and kind of like run into things.
Can't play hockey on tour, right? That's
no.
Not really.
Yeah, I miss hockey though, honestly. All right, sorry, tangent. I don't know, maybe probably Schmidt just because he's a sick guitarist.
Oh, yeah, then you could just.
And he just shred like Schmidt, you know.
That'd be pretty cool.
Shred like Schmidt.
Shred like Schmidt, that's the thing.
Shred
or
like
Billy
Schmidt.
has sick tattoos, I guess. He's a sick drummer. I don't know. I love all of you guys, man. I'd be any of you.
Yeah, I might switch with Billy because he can get drunk off one short
Like,
after one drink.
Still shred the drums, and girls like him, and
Oh, he can get
funny.
so hammered and still shred the drums. Yeah.
and he just has a chill life. He just plays drums and.
Oh no!
Did Stephanie go here, by the way?
Yeah, our manager went to Rutgers.
No way.
Yeah, I was
Like
bring it
not
up,
tour
but-
manager, right?
No, yeah, our manager.
Our manager Stephanie Rains went to Rutgers. She and her brother ran Drive Through Records, which was a huge pop punk label in the early and mid 2000s. And yeah, this is her alma mater, and she's here today actually. They're gonna get here.
Oh, yeah,
around
that's
soundcheck.
right.
Oh, wow. I want to meet her.
Yeah, she'll be here around
I
soundcheck.
feel like anyone who goes to Rutgers is just like crazy about it. Maybe not crazy, but
Oh, yeah,
she's pretty school spirited, I think, right?
What?
I think she's
she
pretty
loves it,
school
yeah.
spirited,
Considering-
When
right?
we got when we got the press requests for today, she's like, "You gotta do the Rutgers one." I'm like, "Yeah, of course
Aw.
we'll do it."
thanks guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. That thing is so like weird. I don't know if it's creepy or cute.
I think it's cute. Very cute.
Yeah. All right. Bye everyone.